Hey everybody, welcome back. And today we're going to be giving you some tips on the best way to manage your toddler during your Walt Disney World vacation. Hey everybody, well, if you guys are new here and you enjoy the content, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. It helps out a bunch. And go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. All right, so you're getting ready to go to Walt Disney World. You have your toddler. Let's just include children from the age of 0 to like 6 years old, 5, 6 years old, okay? If this is your first time going to Walt Disney World, then this video is probably going to help you out more than a lot of the parents and people with kids that have been. The number one thing that you can kind of do is keep your expectations low. With toddlers, a lot of things, and children just in general, a lot of things are hit and miss, especially if it's your first trip. There are some rides that you're going to want to experience with your child that your child is really not going to like. I'll give you a prime example of this is some children are afraid of the dark. So some of these dark rides, your children might not do too well on. As they get up in age, then I would revisit the idea of doing that. But starting out, if they're afraid of the dark, just kind of keep your expectations low so that way if they don't like the dark stuff, then you can kind of maneuver around what you can do. If you have more than one adult and you're not a single parent like me, then it's simple. You can still experience this stuff. You can use the rider swap program. This will even work on the virtual queues. What will happen is, for example, let's say you want to ride Peter Pan's Flight. It is one of the most popular rides in Magic Kingdom, and at the same time, your child is got a dark phobia. That's what we're going to call it in this video. We're going to call it dark phobia. Okay? Judge me in the comments. So what you do is both parents would wait in line, and what you would do is you would tell the cast member that you're going to rider swap. I'm assuming you're using Genie Plus. If not, if you're using a standby line, wait in line. Once you get up there, they will give one parent a lightning lane while the other parent rides. The one parent that's not riding will stay with the child. When the parent that is riding comes back, what will happen is they will take the child, and the original parent that was watching the child would go scan in as a lightning lane and skip the line pretty much. And it's kind of similar when you're doing virtual queues as well. If you're going to like Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy, it's very simple. When your boarding group is called, you both go up there to the boarding group and tell them you're going to rider swap. One parent or person would scan in and go through the standby line, the virtual queue standby line, and they would give the other parent a lightning lane. The lightning lane has a much shorter line in these virtual queue lines, but I would definitely recommend definitely going through the standby line at least once on these virtual queues so that way you can get the full experience of the queue line there. Something else to keep in mind is a lot of Disney World's rides are on water. Just because they're on water does not mean that you're necessarily going to get soaking wet on these rides. A lot of people hear that it's a water ride, so they don't want to ride it. A lot of these rides that are not like really, really intense rides, which there are no really intense rides unless you go to Kahali River Rapids at Animal Kingdom. That ride, you're going to get wet. But all the other normal rides like It's a Small World, Frozen Ever After, these types of rides, you might get a little splashy. On It's a Small World, don't expect to get wet hardly anything. The most you'll get wet is your feet stepping into the boat, and there might be some residual water in there. That's probably it. Frozen Ever After, the drop where they take your picture, there is a little bit of a splash, but it's nothing crazy. It's not like riding Aquaman Power Wave at Six Flags Over Texas, or Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld Orlando or SeaWorld San Antonio. It's nothing really crazy like that, so just really keep that in mind. There's also a lot of these dark rides like at Animal Kingdom. You got the Mojave River Journey, which is really, really great for kids. Even if they're scared of the dark, it's like black fluorescent lights. So it really lights up, and it's really, really great for kids. Even if your kid is scared of the dark, I would recommend taking them on it at least once just to see how they react. And then if they're able to ride that one, then you can kind of use that as a motivation. Hey, you rode this one. You know, this one's really not that much different. So you can kind of motivate them into doing so. Every single year when we go to Disney World, last year when I went twice, both times I see the same thing every time, and parents freak out. Trust me, expect the unexpected. What I mean by this is your child is going to have a meltdown at some point during your trip, whether it's on your flight, whether it's on your Disney World transportation to the park, or leaving the park, or at the park because of the blistering heat, depending on what time of the year that you're going. Your child is going to eventually have a meltdown. Just prepare yourself for it. A lot of these meltdowns happen when children are overstimulated, overtired, and they really need a nap. There is nothing wrong with leaving the park, going back to your resort for nap time. Or you can go to some of the many baby care centers around each of the 4 Disney World parks. And if you have an infant or a toddler and they're asleep in your stroller or you're trying to rock them to sleep, you can do that in there. It's in the AC. It gives you an opportunity in the dark to be able to just get there and relax with them so that way they can have their nap. If you don't want to go all the way back to your resort, if you're staying somewhere that's like way over there by Animal Kingdom or something. If you're staying at one of the 4 monorail line resort hotels, it's really not that bad because all you do is you hop on a monorail, go to your resort, then hop back on it to come back. You got to go through security again, but it's really not that much of a hassle. But if you're staying somewhere at like Art of Animation or All Star Sports or any of the All Star resorts, it's a bit of a ways out there and coming back. You're going to waste probably about 40 minutes round trip going there. So I would definitely recommend utilizing the baby care centers. These meltdowns can range anywhere from kids being overtired to them not getting their way to them just simply being kids. Okay, so expect your children, regardless of how good they might act at home. Disney World is not home. It is a completely different place, and it will bring out the worst in your children, especially when you add dehydration and heat into the mix. So we're going to pose a little scenario that I saw a family struggling with when I went last year in December, during one of the busiest times of the year. This is a very, very real scenario that happened with very real people that I kind of stepped in just to kind of help them with it. There was a family. Both of them it was a husband and a wife, and they were in a double stroller with 2 toddlers. They are trying to understand how to use Disney Genie Plus. At the same time, they're talking about which ride to reserve first. They've got 2 screaming toddlers at the same time. So while they're trying to figure out which ride they should go with next, they're listening to their toddlers. They're trying to calm them down while talking to each other about the ride, while trying to get them calm and trying to focus. And then eventually they end up biting each other's heads off because they're both trying to do the same thing at the same time. This is something that is very, very unfortunate because they didn't really understand about what the Disney Genie Plus was and how to use it. I'm going to link our video to Disney Genie Plus in the description box down below. Please watch it or go to there is a lot of different videos all over YouTube where you can find, please, if you're going to be buying this service, please learn how to use this service before you go. Because if you don't, and they just tell you, oh, well, it'll help you skip the lines. We've been using these skip the line passes for going on about 3 years. And then last year, our very first day of Magic Kingdom, we didn't watch any videos. We kind of decided, oh, well, we're used to doing it anyway. We'll just wing it. Trust me, we got our tails handed to us because of this very, very thing. Definitely educate yourself and definitely learn how to use this program and this software before you get there. Because one, it's going to teach you a lot of how to do. It's going to help you out so much than you just trying to wing it, especially when you have 2 screaming toddlers. So we're going to talk about Disney Genie Plus now. We're just going to give a quick rundown. Disney Genie Plus is a paid service that will allow you to skip the line on every attraction in each of the 4 Disney World parks once per day. You can make your first Lightning Lane selection at 7 a.m. Every single day, no matter if you're staying on property or off property. You can make your next Lightning Lane selection when you either use your original Lightning Lane or 120 minutes have passed, 2 hours. You can use this opportunity to be able to stack Lightning Lanes if you're park hopping from one park to the other. You can get Disney Genie Plus and hit to that park, and you can stack all your lightning lanes. Or if you're gonna want to spend a pool day, you want to stand by the pool one day, and then you're gonna spend half a day at Magic Kingdom. What you can do is you can make your first lightning lane at 7 a.m., but you can make it after 2 p.m. or after whatever time you're going to be arriving at the park. And then 120 minutes later, you can make another one. But make sure you're making these lightning lane selections when you're going to be in the park. And you can literally stack up to 4, 5, and 6 rides as long as you've got the time for it. So you can really take advantage of this. When we make a video, when we go here in a few months, we're going to show you guys how we do that. We're going to be spending half a day at our resort, and then we'll end up closing out the day at Magic Kingdom. We're going to rack up a whole bunch of lightning lanes, probably about 4, 5, and 6 of them, and then go there and then just ride consecutively, be back to back to back to back to back until the fireworks. So you can do that, or if you just want to take a resort day, which gets us into our next topic. If you're going on a vacation at Disney World, the one thing that you're going to really get tired of is, one, the heat. So I would definitely recommend going into some of these attractions that are in the AC. Although some of these attractions really, really suck, they're going to really give you a break from this extreme heat and extreme humidity, and you definitely want to get a break from that. So sometimes going through the Emporium to walk instead of walking straight up and down Main Street will be a way for you to get out of the heat. If you just want to sit there for about 15 or 20 minutes to go to the Carousel of Progress, go to the Hall of Presidents, all of these attractions are all in the AC. Now, granted, it's kind of going to be a little bit boring, but you will be in the AC, and that's what matters, to get you a break from that. The one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to go on your vacation and you don't want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of fluids and plenty of water. During the hotter parts of the month, usually anywhere between June and October, can get really, really hot. And these sporadic storms that pop up here and there, we're going to talk about that here in a moment, really raise the humidity level up really high. It'll be sunny and beautiful and hot outside, and then the next thing you know, you'll get this monsoon of a hurricane that comes through for about 15-20 minutes, and then the next thing you know, it's sunny and hot outside. So what happens when it's sunny and hot after it rains? Humidity. It is bad. So definitely want to stay hydrated and definitely prepare your day around the rainstorms. Rainstorms usually pop up during the hotter parts of the year, usually between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., which is why a lot of the times we usually eat dinner somewhere or lunch around that time. So that way we can kind of plan around that. We also plan to, between the hours of 2 and 5, the only lightning lanes we make are going to be indoor rides. We do this because once it starts raining, the lightning lanes for each of these indoor rides, like Winnie the Pooh, Little Mermaid, they're going to start filling up really, really fast. So I would definitely recommend during your time, if you're getting close to that 2 to 5 mark, I would start reserving your indoor rides right around that time. Something else we're going to talk about is stroller covers. For those of you who are traveling with your stroller, I'll pray for you, because you definitely are a lot more, you definitely got a lot more patience than I do. We don't bring our own stroller. We rent ours from Kingdom Strollers. So I'm going to link them down in the description box below. So definitely something to check out. When you rent your stroller, you can have them put a free stroller cover in there. There's a reason for the stroller cover, is because when it starts raining, you don't have to get your kid out, put a poncho on them, and just hope for the best. You can put the stroller cover on it, and they'll know that it's raining. I doubt that they'll try to take the stroller cover off, and if they do, they'll probably put it right back down. So the stroller covers are going to help you. Don't let the rain really stop you within your day. You'll see a lot of people that will bring ponchos from home. There's a reason for this. It's because the ponchos at Walt Disney World are very, very expensive, usually running anywhere between $20 and $35 per poncho. I would highly recommend going to Amazon or your local dollar store, getting a buttload of ponchos, and then bringing one per person to the park each day, even if you don't need it. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So definitely something to think about, and I would definitely invest in ponchos. Character meet and greets are some of the best experiences that you can have at Walt Disney World, especially for your little one, seeing their favorite character for the first time and really getting to hug Mickey, taking pictures, and all of these great characters. It's always such a great time to be able to see their reactions. The one thing you don't want to do is, if you know your children are scared of these characters, please do yourself a favor. Don't make them go up there and see that character. I don't know how many times we've seen different children, their parents make them go see Mickey and they just start bawling, crying. At the same time, we got to feel bad, but then at the same time, we just look at each other and we just laugh. It's not that we're laughing at you, we are laughing with you. Okay, because I know you wanted your child to have the best, most magical vacation ever, and you wanted them to see Mickey Mouse. You paid thousands of dollars to come here only to get them to see Mickey Mouse, and then they have a baby panic attack. So just kind of keep that in mind. Some kids enjoy characters. We introduced characters to Asher when he was about 9 months old. So he's been visiting characters his entire life. He loves characters. Doesn't matter who it is. He will walk up to characters, take pictures with them, smile, give them a high five, kick them in the shin. That's what he does. But not all children are like that. There are some children that are afraid of the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. Not all kids are. So just kind of keep in mind your kids' limits and what they can and what they cannot do. That's going to wrap it up for this one. If you guys have any more tips that you guys would like to add for new timers going to Disney World with their toddlers, don't forget to leave them down in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.